Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here. Welcome back to Groovy Thursdays, our weekly groove hang. Appreciate you hanging out and coming back again. This week is a good one. It's a special song to me and a special groove to me because, well, number one, I wrote the song that the groove comes from, so that's pretty cool. And it's from a record that just got released this last February called Troika from myself, Neil Morse, and Ross Jennings. It's a simple tune. This particular tune has Tony Levin playing bass on it, which is just awesome. He's so good and a super nice guy. I'm really happy to have him on this particular tune. And it's just a fun, sort of peppy groove. And I don't know, it's pretty simple. Let's have some fun and get into it. Groove number 12. The groove's in 4/4 time at 120 BPM. And for this demonstration here today, I made it an 8-bar phrase. Now that's because there's two little hooky things I did. One in the 4th bar with the hi-hat and one in the 8th bar with the floor tom. Now, if you listen to the whole song, which I hope you do, go check it out. I don't play the floor tom thing every 8 bars in the song. That kind of leads into the chorus usually, and it's also in the chorus as a hooky part in the chorus along with the vocal. The kick drum pattern is doing 4 on the floor for all 8 bars. So just a quarter note, nice, solid, pushing the groove forward. The side stick pattern in the groove, which you can definitely play on full snare drum too if you want. I changed the snare later on in the song, is pretty simple, but I added some skips throughout to give it that little bit of extra pep. I don't know, that's how it felt to me. So I'll sing it out like this. It's pretty simple. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and a 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So those little bits at the end of the 2nd bar, 4th, 6th, and 8th, I don't know, just hitting those upbeats felt like it was I gave it more of a jump to me. And it was fun to compose the drum part that way because it left room for those two little hooky bits at the end of the 4th and the 8th bars. Now that gets us to the hi-hat part, which is 8th notes all the way through to the end of the 4th bar, which is where the first little hook part is. And I'll tell you about that in just a second. And the key to playing these 8th notes, at least for this groove, in my opinion, is to accent every other beat. So accent all the downs, leave the ups as the quieter beats. So you get this nice kind of flowing forward motion. And that's adding to the percussion that's actually in the track too. So that gives room for the tambourine and the shaker and all that kind of stuff. It gives a nice kind of flowing forward motion. There's a couple open stabs with the hi-hat too on the end of 4 of the 2nd bar and also at the end of 4 on the 4th bar. Now for that first little hook section I was telling you about, that just happens on beat number 3 of the 4th bar. And all you're doing is playing all 4 16th notes with your hi-hat along with the downbeat of beat 4. So you have a 5-note run right there. But the key to it is that you play all those notes, that fast little run, with no volume change. All the same sort of loud. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, I got to utilize my fingers in this little run there, which was pretty cool. And then you go right back into doing the up and down of the 8th notes as you get into bar 5 and 6 and so on. Now the hi-hat part for bar number 4 sung out is just like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and. And the end of 4 is the 2nd hi-hat stab where you open and close real fast. Psst. The 2nd hook part is in bar 8, and it really is roughly the same thing as what's happening in bar 4 with the hi-hat, except in bar 8, I play the floor tom to give a propelling motion towards what's happening next. In this case, you're going to repeat and go back to the top of the 8-bar phrase, and in the song, I'm propelling the whole thing forward into the chorus. And it's a 7-beat run because it starts on the and of 2. So 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the number of beats. And then I go immediately to the and of 4 on the snare and my stack cymbal. You can do it on a crash or a china or whatever, a splash, that kind of thing, which gives a nice sort of really fast, attacky accent to the end of 4, flows you right back into the top of the groove again, and you're rocking. And that's pretty much it. A pretty simple groove, all about pocket, backbeat, flow, that skippiness that is, makes people want to bounce their heads. It's good practice to really practice your nuance in your hi-hat hand work on those accents up and down. And then when you want to play a run like those 16th notes, nice and tight, all the same volume. It's a fun finger exercise and wrist exercise to kind of get a nice solid feel in your hi-hat hand. As always, I encourage you to film and record yourself playing this groove, post it up. I would love to see what you do with it. Keep bringing on those fantastic suggestions. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with all your friends. I would really appreciate that as well. And join me next week for groove number 13 in our Groovy Thursdays hang. Thanks so much for taking the time, everybody. Cheers.